Hey everybody, my name is Sonia, and today we're doing a speed painting of my character, Huxley. So unfortunately, I am a complete goblin when it comes to technology, and I'm learning how to do recording and video editing, so I lost the first half of my speed painting. So I just gotta keep on trucking, even though I wanted to complain about it really, really badly. Um, I did all of this in Clip Studio Paint Pro, which is awesome. It's a program that's like Photoshop meets Paint Tool Side. And they had a child together, and this is the product. Oh, yeah. Um, Clip Studio Paint Pro and Paint Studio Paint EX. I always want to call Paint Studio Paint Pro like Paint Tool Side for some reason. But anyways, they have a bunch of really cool assets. They have a lot of tips. They have a lot of tricks. You have a place to like show off your art, so on and forth. Which I could not be more elated with this particular product, and it goes on sale quite often. So it's a very affordable option if you were trying to hit that like Photoshop mark, but it's just too expensive for you. I mean, come on. Photoshop is expensive, especially now with the subscription fee. So everybody's looking to cut some corners financially, especially as an artist. And a bunch of professional manga and comic artists actually utilize Manga Studio to complete their works. So, hey, it wins in that regard. And it's a program that I personally find myself gravitating back towards. I have Photoshop, I have Illustrator, I have Procreate, I have Paint Tool Sai. I also have some free ones such as Inkscape, and I also have Fire Alpaca, and I just go, I love Clip Studio Paint Pro, and that's where I'm gonna go. I am gonna go back and use this. So, anyways, here with this particular piece, I really wanted to be really graphic, and I wanted to not be smooth. I really just was aiming for a bold, stylistic, I want to say pixely illustration, but without actually pixeling. And at first, I was a little disappointed in myself because the colors weren't super saturated and it wasn't so simplified but still detailed enough. Instead, I'm that person who goes ham for details. I'm like, characters with tattoos, characters with a strong aesthetic, those are my jam. And Huxley is one of those characters who has a very strong aesthetic. She is like Japanese street fashion meets surfer hobo aesthetic, and she has tattoos all over her body, and she tends to gravitate towards bright styles and just being kind of obnoxious looking, and sometimes that simplified thing just doesn't work for some characters I found, and that she is just one of them. And I've been on a kick with drawing her because she is very enjoyable. I really enjoy drawing characters, like I said, with a strong aesthetic appeal and characters with tattoos. And I was just kind of like, I've been jamming for my girl for a really long time, and she's been a character of mine for quite a while. And so I'm just like, yeah, when I get on that muse, I tend to just ride with it. Now, I used a ton of references to reference her jacket. I referenced the face mask, the snapback, even the hands and the nails. And every time someone goes, references are cheating, ugh, you're not a real artist if you use references. Well, you know what? Suck my back, because a lot of teachers and a lot of other artists and professional people are like, references make the world go round, sister. And sometimes, if you don't use a reference, it looks really wonky, like one of those really old school Renaissance paintings of like a horse or some sort of mythical creature. Like it's seen some things that you're just really questioning. And overall, I wanted to improve my own technical abilities for her hand. I stared at my own hand, you guys. I stared at my own hand and looked at it. I was like, how do you draw them god dang peace signs? Did that. In a previous picture of her, she was doing the shaka, the Hawaiian shaka, and I was looking at my hand while I was drawing that as well. So Kira the gun references are your friend. Especially with the snapback as well. I'm not proficient at drawing hands. I'm not proficient at certain accessories like hats. And so I really was trying my best to improve my technical skills with this particular piece. And yeah, so what we can take away from me talking about that is that references are your friend, and if anyone tells you otherwise, they can go take a long walk off a short pier because you are doing what's best for you and you are growing from it. And we're always learning new things when it comes to art, and we're always improving. Every time we, pick up a pencil, pick up our, stylus, whatever we use to do our art and to illustrate our emotions and what we like to convey. Um, we're learning from it. We are growing, and that is beautiful, and that is just completely awesome. And that's something that I always try to keep in mind when I do artwork is that I am trying to improve myself and also to show people what I'm interested in and what inspires me because I want to inspire other people to do art. Even if they end up being amazing and like better artists than I could ever be, I like feeling like, hey, I, gave them a little like inspiration that everybody is trying their best. So, yeah. And I've been on a kick for Huxley, not only because I enjoy her aesthetic, I enjoy her as a character, but just the fact that she kind of represents me. She's kind of an underdog. And that, story wise, she has dealt with a lot of really tough things and making a lot of tough decisions and still is. And it's great. I like it. So here I am trying to do the background and like hands, like hats, when I combine environments and characters, I'm not super strong with that because I don't know how a character and the environment should kind of interact. And I should, and I acknowledge this, should have drawn thumbnails of it instead of like willy-nilly going at it, but what can you do? Sometimes I think about it later because originally this was going to be just an icon, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to make this into a full-blown piece. So I was really trying to get a bright 80s vibe going on with the background like pixely, meets super tropical, 50s vibe as well. And combining those two eras and those two themes is so hard. I futzed around a lot with the colors, changing the cloud colors. Some of them were really questionable colors that I was trying to choose. I was kind of like, um, this looks like something unmentionable that I really don't want to go into. And the sky color I was futzing around a lot with because I didn't want it to merge with the character herself. She had pink and she had blues and yellows already, so I was trying to find like that happy medium. And I came up with like a blue, like a bright blue fading into kind of like a really buttercuppy kind of color. You can see here that I was looking for some brushes and I started installing a bunch of the pixel brushes and stamps that I acquired quite a while ago, and I don't know why I didn't install those before. So I was kind of like picking through my assets folder that, I'm a huge hoarder of brushes and stamps and materials, so I was picking through those and trying to figure out what was gonna work because I wanted to use pixels. I really wanted to use that pixely style, and I really wanted to figure out, how to polish this further. So, a lot of these pixels are based off of telephone, like not telephone, what? TVs, like the old school TVs, like the ones that sit in the giant box, the ones that sat in like the big wooden, entertainment systems, things that we don't have anymore, things that a lot of people don't remember unless you're like way older. Um, so I wanted to incorporate a lot of the pixelation that was going on, and I really was keen on putting like sun rays as well to make it like super bright, like she was standing in some sort of like video game-esque situation, and I was trying to like figure out where it was all placed. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.